in general.
I love this out of SANDBOX. The Gangplank locked in, just doesn't really matter what happens in the lane because he's guaranteed to outscale, gets so much more money than the Renekton, and should be able to keep his range, keep his distance, and get some poke on. As you can see, Yamato just telling OnFleek what he needs to be focusing on during this game. This isn't necessarily an OnFleek champion. He has played Sej a lot, but he's more of that aggressive style. Probably getting a bit of coaching as to how he's supposed to play out this early game so that SANDBOX can reach a late game and go toe-to-toe against Gen.G. Certainly far more late-game options for Gen.G in the Azir Jinx combo, plus the Braum, being able to add so much into the middle of a team fight. The Renekton stands out. He's more of a bridging champion this time around. But I love what SANDGP is. It provides so much space exactly where you need it, right? Like, Gen.G want to be piling on top of you. They want to get the two burly boys in the front. They want Pigeon Man to throw people around with all of his Sand Soldiers, and then Ruler to go to town with his rockets in an AoE. But Summit can just put his ulti in the middle of a fight and give Root so much kite power throughout anything. I mean, there is dive, yes, from Gen.G, but I think that SANDBOX do have some peel available to them. But Gorilla doesn't have the Tahm Kench, so the Devour not there to be relied upon. We'll see what that does to change the playstyle here of SANDBOX. OnFleek, yeah, sitting on his Poro. He's got like Space Bear coming at him.
He's just looking at them like, oh, okay.
Space Bear. Oh, that'd be. OnFleek's like, why you ban my champions? He could have played Lee Sin, actually, and decided not to. As that is a sick Renekton skin, not going to lie.
Yeah. Wow. Is that one of the new ones?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I like Lego Renekton, but that one's very, very cool.
It's weird because when I'm watching the game while I'm casting, I'll notice like cool skins, but when the new skins come out, I don't even look at them.
Yeah,
I don't even like, oh, let's see what cool new skins are out, you know? But in this case, this is definitely a pretty cool one.
Because I'm like such a League boomer, I just like the old skins. You know, that's just how I've been built. As Ruler going for some trades that maybe he doesn't want to. Does end up trading relatively evenly, but with SANDBOX's range advantage and with the shields that they have available to them, trading early is going to favor them. As we do have Star Guardian Jinx, so definitely going to help power up Ruler. It's a cute one.
Yeah, and you can take a look at the runes here. The Fleet Footwork going to be a little bit more helpful in terms of sustaining during the laning phase, whereas the Lethal Temple for Ruler's all about those later game team fights once he does get fed up. As here we go.
Yep, Clid's going to find OnFleek. He's going to get taken down very, very low, but that's a great smite. They smite back. As with a red buff now, Clid should be able to grab this, or at least a flash, and it will be the flash out from OnFleek, who's now looking to come back again. Okay, we are going to have the exit. Good vision available there from SANDBOX to make sure that the Krugs weren't going to also be taken, or at least not be safe for OnFleek to grab. But no flash for the Sejuani at this stage is a worry. Absolutely. Now, the 100% win rate for Karma or for Volibear is going to be attacked here in this game. That was, of course, last week. We are in a new week now. Let's see who's going to suffer the first loss. I'm sure a lot of you probably pretty keen for Gen.G to bounce back after what was a tough game one. As Root, he's going to go home, look for that cheetah recall with his 23 CS. And Ruler doing everything that he can to get back on track. He's taken teleport. I mean, this is like not great for laning phase for Gen.G bottom side, but let's have a look at what Summit can do top lane. Going for a bit of a greedy start here with the Sapphire Crystal. As Life's going to find Gorilla.
They really have to dive here. Rascal is like overbaiting and having difficulty pushing the lane. Clid is using so much time just chilling, and you could see Summit. He's trying to hold the wave.
Yep, he's going to be able to do so for quite some time. This is sacrificing his health bar, but if they don't get a crash, there is no dive. Oh, that was so smart from Summit.
Yeah. It's a great anti-dive play. As he identified it coming in, he realized it from the Rascal play, and then he saw, of course, the bear. And think about how much time Clid wasted up there. He was like, let me see if the Krugs are taken.
우리 레드 없네. 아, 얘 여기 있다.
one health.
이거 여기. 아, 잠깐만, 내가 이거 어떻게 해야 되지? 아, 아쉽다.
It's like, this sucks.
It's like, guys,
Yeah, he actually
come and get him.
It's like, oh, he's Volibear's here, come on.
In the meantime, every single lane getting shoved in.
Yeah.
And OnFleek, he doesn't necessarily enjoy playing weak side. It's not his thing. Is that headshot? Oh, starting to hurt life, as you can see. And this lane was never going to be fun, but like, I don't know what Gen.G were, what they were expecting. But this is about as good as it gets, to be honest.
Yeah.
For the Jinx Braum, especially Jinx with teleport.
Laning phase is just so important right now, and you're just giving so much away by picking the Braum just to get dumpstered on in the lane. To offer, questionably more, efficiency and effectiveness later on in the game. I'm just really still a little bit unhappy with that selection, but it is what it is. Braum is it's an LCK staple, I suppose. So
yeah, and also
just
I
love
mean,
to play him.
Teams, especially like Gen.G of the past, do like to default to late game if they're getting pressured in a series. So you can see why they made the choice. Whether they can actually pull themselves out of the hole is the question. I mean, it's not going too badly right now as the Winter's Bite is going to be netted as Gorilla finally comes in. The Flame Chompers going to go down, and SANDBOX unable to answer back. And Gen.G do have a 400 gold lead. Might just be the prowess of these players that's meaning that SANDBOX unable to get the advantages that they probably should in this lane. Might mean that after Root has his next back, that's when things are going to get better. Cull versus Pickaxe, you're not necessarily going to be winning there. Because Gen.G, despite what we were talking about, are able to take down the Ocean Drake. The first dragon of the game. Second going to be the Cloud, so we're going to avoid Cloud Soul this time. As Rascal, he's going to go real big, and the Piggy's in trouble. Slice, dice, and oh my goodness. Oh, gets over the wall. The flash in from Rascal, though, and that's going to be a dead Sejuani. And he just followed her the whole time. Pigs versus Crocodiles. I mean, I guess we knew that how this one was going to go. As Gangplank just chilling in the lane.
Yeah, OnFleek, definitely an unfortunate beginning to this game. Gets invaded by the sinning Volibear, and then eventually he tries to go 1v1 with the level 6 Renekton. Really not sure about that choice. And he actually got his dash ability interrupted by the Renekton as well.
Yeah.
And with no flash, as it's just coming off cooldown from the earlier trade in the jungle, there was really no helping him, even though he led the enemy on a long journey, as now he's trying to get up to the top side here.
Yep, barrel comes in. Rascal was thinking about trying to stop it, and actually this slow could be the death of the Crocodile. Some revenge for OnFleek. Not able to get the knockback as it's a cute little flash, not really necessary, and that is a dead Croc. His flash also off cooldown, remember, so really nice return for OnFleek to get his revenge. As in goes BDD, as revenge might be happening once again, and yes, goodbye Little Miss Piggy. Oh no.
This poor Sejuani can't catch a break. And, I mean, the Volibear's going to have the timing on the red, and the way that Clid is playing very aggressively with this Volibear, I think you may have wanted to expect, or at least take the precaution, just in case he was in your jungle. Ends up getting killed by BDD, though, over the wall. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Should have known that BDD was outside of the lane and just to back up north. As here's a breakdown of the top side. No flash, no ultimate for Rascal, so it's a pretty easy alley-oop. As he ends up flashing for it.
He sort of flashed on the spot.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
Weird flash. Might have been a visual thing.
Yeah.
As well. After this, up against BDD alone. Probably would have gotten away, but with Clid there, they're able to secure the kill. As we return to bottom side, a.k.a. Root and Gorilla Paradise.
Yeah, that does land.
Yeah. The CS is even, and I think it does have to do a little bit with Ruler CSing well early on in the game, not getting zoned out too much, and also having the item advantage for now. But there's already 2 plates going the way of Root and Gorilla so far. And so they're having a fun time here.
Yep. Now we do have Berserker's Greaves picked up by Root, as he's going to make his way back to the lane, but not really being punished. Feels like Gen.G haven't been zoned at all or anything like that, so they are getting through the lane better than I think I was expecting. But, I mean, this is one of the best bottom lanes that we have, so you can imagine even with adversity, you're going to have a decent.
Yeah, it's something that LS talks about a lot, where it's like, yeah, I mean, they went for a crazy aggressive draft as, here we go, some action.
And I believe blue buff was stolen away. Yes, it was. Clid manages to secure that one for himself. He even gets this control ward as well. So, the Volibear, very, very strong. I don't know how much it means, because this game is still pretty close. 600 gold, nothing really to worry about. And there's a Gangplank versus Renekton. I mean, technically, Gangplank's going to be a champion in the late game, and Renekton isn't. That's pretty much how that one works. And we know what Caitlyn can do. Yes, Jinx basically does it better in a lot of instances, but Caitlyn after the buff might actually be able to tango with the Jinx, and it depends how the fights are going as well. Because Jinx, yes, does a lot of long-range AoE damage, but are SANDBOX going to be stacking up for it? Is the Sejuani going to be able to get back on track and land some of these glacial prisons that can get some work done? Certainly a lot of questions to be answered here by Gen.G.
Yeah. And I think Sejuani did get the blue, actually. Might have been covered by the gigantic Foro that she's riding, but I just saw it there as we got to trade up in the top side now.
Yep, Summit is going to throw down his ultimate. Rascal's going to have to tank a lot of it as the oranges have been eaten. There's the slice, there's the dice, and that's Rascal just picking up a solo kill. Pretty unacceptable there from Summit. Biting off more than he could chew. Maybe just expecting to be able to win this one out, but didn't quite have Trinity Force available just yet. Yes, he had ulti, but wasn't enough.
Oh, look at this rotation coming in.
Yeah.
They have no idea about this.
There's the Glacial Prison. Clid already down to half as Fate looking to try and come in here as well.
Where's
Teleport
Akali?
through. As yep, she does eventually get there. Shuriken backflip, but unable to actually secure the kill. Trap is eaten by Clid.
What?
There's no follow-up. There's the flash from BDD. This is why he picks the Azir. It's so he can grab double kills whenever he wants, as Root's trying to answer, but there's no one in range. And Gen.G are starting to run away with this game.
Yeah, I just... this is why when we talk about drafting and picks and stuff like that, we always have to take into account the players that are playing them, as in particular that Akali performance was not very good. Sejuani went over the wall, level 7, a little bit behind, didn't have any follow-up, as now here comes a big bear.
Yep, going for a bit of a 1v2. Gorilla does get a big shield as the trap is going to keep the support player alive. Super Mega Death Rocket is going to sail majestically past, but that was real close. And a good effort there from Ruler. Can SANDBOX get themselves back on track? This victory means so much to their playoff hopes. But right now it's looking real scary for this game. They will have another opportunity in Game 3.
Yeah, they will. And yeah, it's not looking great for them. I mean, they have some nice scaling, but so do Gen.G on their side with the Azir Jinx. Obviously, as, yeah, this is just a bit of a mistake by Summit. I mean, you're level 9, you're relatively evenly farmed against a Renekton with everything up on both sides. Who wins? You should know this as a top laner, right?
Yeah.
Even with, you know, 5 or 6 minions that were there, he should know that he loses that trade, but this is the highlight I didn't exactly want to watch, as Fate kind of falls flat on his face as BDD waits for the exact right moment. This is what we know him for. Always saves that Emperor's Divide for the later stages of the fight where he gets to get the big highlight moment. And that he did, as now the mid lane is, well, now it's kind of 5v4 in this game.
Well, still going to be an ult. Doesn't quite land onto BDD. Good shifting stance, but now Clid could be in trouble. Will pick himself up a shield, but what? Gangplank ult comes down to confirm Emperor's Divide just to get them out of the way. His life does miss his Unbreakable, but he's going to be all right as Ruler almost eats through that extra plate, but he got a couple of them at least, and now has an 8 CS advantage there on the bottom side, despite everything, is now Fate. Shuriken backflipping away, but he's not going to survive. Not sure why he was there.
There's a lot of mistakes being made in this game. Like,
yeah.
by both sides, okay? Fate is not having a great game. We saw Clid just dive face first into a 3-foot deep pool. And generally, it's not what you want to do. As, you know, it's not going to matter too much for Clid because his team is very far ahead. And this is just going to be a natural breakdown of the mid lane after Shelly did crash into that earlier. And things still all going really well for Gen.G. As we'll see if they'll be able to ride this wave and take this game.
Yep, 30% CDR built up by Summit. That might help him have some oranges ready for when Rascal's going to try and kill him again. So let's have a look at this one more time. This was, yeah, the faceplant that you were talking about.
Oh, Clid. Yeah, come on.
Woohoo! Oh,
no. He was, you know, I think you said it best. I think he's just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, woohoo!
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
It's a really nice Emperor's Divide by BDD to zone all 3 members, and Fate gets caught out here by the rotation. They should communicate at least that Renekton is out of the lane, but we're not able to do so there.
Well, could be another team fight here as Fate up from the side. BDD should be able to grab the blue buff, but Shirley is going to be secured by SANDBOX. Now, 4v5 at this moment in time. Ruler, no teleport. Had a super mega death rocket that I guess could throw at the team fight, but not able to get there. He's got an Infinity Edge. Looks like he's going to go Zeal item second with that Crit Cloak that he has built up. That's a teleport behind Rude, and he's just standing around. Not sure whether that's what he really wants to be doing. Is zapped and destroyed. What? That teleport was like channeling for what felt like a year.
Yeah, he had
and Rude's
no idea.
like, I better kill that minion.
He just had no clue. He's like, oh, I guess I'm dead.
Yeah, whoops.
This has been the game that this is not going to make the Mad movie. This is not going to be the one that's highlighted later on by production.
Yeah, I don't think so. Summit's still got a gun and a sword and a dream.
And some barrels.
Yeah, he's also walking face first into this crocodile.
He's got some doubloons.
Ooh, okay. Barrel coming on in here. Is Ruler going to get chunked by that one, but still not going to be the blue buff steal or anything like that. From Summit, I guess I call it a steal. I mean, it's his blue buff, but it doesn't feel like it this game. As BDD 1 versus 2, not going to go for it. Although, he's 50 CS in the lead. He's very strong at this point in time. It's Gorilla getting chunked. Not going to be dying just yet. BDD over the wall. Softens up the piggy. Gen.G are in so much control, and I just don't think they should be with the composition that they have. As the Jinx is online. She's ahead by way too much. And I don't know where all the farm's gone. I guess it's just dying to turrets. SANDBOX have just been letting a lot of it go through, and that's why there is a 5,000 gold lead in most regards. I mean, yeah, there's 5 kills in favor of Gen.G, but that's not the majority of the gold lead. Flat come through with the Unbreakable. Fate on this island, top side, everyone trying to rotate up to either help him out or take him down.
Yeah, not just going to be able to break this one here. Just going to have Fate play this strong side and try to keep that turret up for as long as possible. There's no real objective for about 30 seconds, so they're going to wait for that one and take it down. You can see the gold difference is mainly in the mid lane, as it's almost 3,000 gold ahead.
That is insane.
At 18 minutes. That's generally like a healthy lead for a team, not for just one player. But that's what we're at right now. This Akali really not finding too much value in this game.
Does have a really cool skin though.
True.
Sometimes it's about that, and it's not about the gameplay. As yeah, he's just got to try and last hit a few more minions. It's not looking great as far as those numbers are concerned either. As Shirley gonna hop down on the top side. SANDBOX are gonna be able to at least get their first turret of the game. And in the meantime, it is going to be the first Mountain Drake taken by Gen.G.
Yeah.
Clid will be securing that one now.
I really think this is going to have to be the most heroic Gangplank performance we've ever seen, right? We're going to have big barrel crits onto the Jinx / Azir, and he needs to do it multiple times. and also not die at the same time. Going for a very aggressive build here. Of course, going to be looking for the big crits in this game, but I think he's also going to need some time. And those barrels are going to be really difficult to land, of course, as it is Jinx who is eventually going to get very fast.
If she never gets excited, then might be okay. But I have a feeling she's going to be able to find a kill or two in the team fights. I think you're exactly right. Essence Reaver on the way, like you were talking about, the crit Gangplank. See what he does go for. Ooh, is Ruler now potentially in trouble. Is Root going very aggressive here, but Fate's off to the side. Immediately he gets exhausted. Perfect execution is going to be there, but Fate not able to close the distance onto the Jinx. Life not going to get shurikened either. The Akali really not working out, but they create some space.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. This Akali is very, very sad. Of course, the exhaust is going to be saved every single time for the Akali, so it does kind of make sense that in a lot of these fights where Braum is nearby, she's not able to get much damage down, but she did have Flash and R2, and I think she probably could have killed Ruler, but elected not to. Not 100% sure why. It was a great opening up on the fight, actually, by Root, which is not generally what you see, but with red buff Caitlyn, you can sometimes do it if the Jinx is all alone. As Gen.G are just going to try to two-man the Baron.
Yeah, OnFleek, he throws a ward in, so they're at least not going to be able to sneak it away. That would have been a very cheeky way to win. As it looks like Ruler building his QSS as his next item, wanting to be as safe as possible. Winter's Bite not going to connect on the Root. It's going to be another game that has a lot to do with these AD carries, but right now Ruler is definitely in the lead on that front, and BDD needs to be respected so much more in this game than he was in game number 1. Summit on the other side, like you were talking about. It's going to be a lot on his shoulders for the late game also.
Yeah. It's going to be the Summon and Root show, as Fate is not existing very much in this game.
Ooh, slow onto Root. He nets himself back. OnFleek just trying to put a body in front of the Caitlyn. Now they're trying to defend this inner turret. Peacemaker secures the cannon, but there's that one cast creep that's still alive. And Gen.G is snowballing this pretty effectively. Liking what I see. Map control well and truly theirs with the inner turret in the mid lane taken. Essence Reaver complete and Rapid Fire Cannon complete, but Root, he needs 3 items, especially with this build.
Same build as last game, but yeah, I mean, you're right. He needs that time, as Summit is in a bit of an awkward spot here.
A dilly of a pickle is what I'd call it, as Glacial Prison could come down. OnFleek looking for it, but doesn't ever really make it do anything, as Fate is going to secure that one onto the Crocodile. Good stun from Clid as BDD's here, and SANDBOX therefore have to run away.
Yeah, interesting opening up on the fight there. Rascal doing the right thing, but eventually the support getting there on time from SANDBOX to at least trade the 1-for-1. As Sejuani's not going to be he's not going to be having much fun at all in this game. Got behind early, and he's going up against pretty fed carries. He's got actually a massive front line ahead of those 2 carries as well, with Renekton, Volibear, and Braum with the shield. So Sejuani not going to be having too much fun, but we'll have to wait and see, as at least the game hasn't been blown open too wide just yet. We still have scaling carries on both sides.
Yeah, the scaling question is a really interesting one now, because the game has been skewed. This Akali's not going to really be doing anything like you were talking about. And the Renekton, 4-2-1. So actually more relevant than most Renektons that we see. QSS done for Ruler though. He's looking for the second Zeal item. That's going to be 3-item Jinx, and a very scary prospect to deal with. I mean, this was played pretty well from Summit to begin with, but you can see OnFleek sort of waiting for the full commitment, and it doesn't really work out.
Yeah, it kind of felt like he didn't think that Clid was there. Maybe he was like waiting until the Renekton was fully baited in, the slice and dice was down. But in the end, it does end up trading a 1-for-1, so it's not the biggest deal. It's obviously going to be a nice win for SANDBOX, as Fate once again is just being zoned away from these fights. And we do have Mountain Drake Soul coming up right now, and it really doesn't feel like SANDBOX are in a position here, item-wise, to force a fight, but here we go.
Fate going in, looking for life as he gets into his shroud as well. There's the perfect execution. Ruler's dead already. Life will follow. Double kill for the Gangplank. BDD's put in prison, but his soldiers are there. That's a great shuriken backflip to make sure that Fate can get in amongst the fight, and BDD's flashed after by Root, and the ace in the hole will secure, not the ace because Rascal had respawned, but damn, a little bit of overextension there by Gen.G, a little bit of cockiness, and they will be denied the soul and probably the Baron as well.
That's like you just got the golden ticket, right? You opened up your suites and you got this amazing raffle win because SANDBOX were so far behind in this game, but they just bought themselves a ticket to potentially take the win as they're going for the Baron here. Not much that Rascal can do alone. TP not quite available for Ruler yet. We got another 20 seconds or so.
Yep, it should be the security. I mean, there's no way that Rascal can do anything. Super Mega Death Rocket trying to steal it away, but that's another one sent off into the ether. And I really love the Willy Wonka reference that you made there, the golden ticket, because I think it was Gen.G's golden ticket that they had, but they were Augustus Gloop this game.
You can have it.
They dropped their ticket on the ground because they were too busy looking for more candy. As Fate, I love it, waits for the Emperor's Divide and then backflips all the way over again.
Yeah, and this is, okay, so we really need to see more GP, please. Like, it's so good, especially against these immobile carries that we're getting nowadays.
Oh,
man.
Jonah.
Someone get the camera.
Amazing.
I think this might have actually been, Suntomb,
yeah.
Right? The replay observer. I think he's the one that sets up all, like, the replays and the cool angles. I'm not 100% sure. Someone might die.
He might die. He eats some oranges, but he is not K. Sometimes there are two solo laners in your lane.
Thankfully, BDD had Morellos down those oranges.
Yeah.
Otherwise, who knows what could have happened. Yeah, the Morello's a little bit confusing, but I mean, yes, there's a stain on more than just GP, but it's definitely still confusing.
I mean, it's mostly GP. There's no... All right, that's an ulti to come out from OnFleek, but it's mainly just disengage as Rascal getting chunked. Root moving fast. He does have Infinity Edge complete. It's not going to be a Molten Edge, but it is still a big old item for the Caitlyn to pick up. And look, you're talking about item advantages. BDD does have more of them, but Fate, he's going for Leandri's. He's following what our salesman has recommended, and he's just going to get more value.
This is just, you know, Summit's right next to the turret, right? This is a little bit unfortunate for him. And, yeah, just a pretty clean, straight-up kill, 2v1. Nice setup by Gen.G to get that one going. Knew that Summit was, of course, going to approach the wave that was approaching his turret. So it was a very well-timed and good setup gank. And, yeah, I mean, Gen.G, they still need to be careful, right? They were in the lead. Now it's pretty even. We talked about how both of these teams have a lot of scaling. It's not just Gen.G, even though they do have the Jinx, which is known as that super hyper scaler. Still going up against GP Caitlyn, and if the fight goes a little bit askew, absolutely SANDBOX could take it. And Fate, he bought himself a way back into this game as well. He had a great follow-up engage there and picked up a ton of gold. Still pretty far behind the Azir, but at least he's part of the game now and not just watching from the sidelines.
Yeah, I think he closed that gap by about 1,500. And yes, he's behind 2,000 gold, but it just shows how much he was struggling like you were talking about. So much crit on Root built up right now. But Runan's Hurricane completed for Ruler, a big key item for the Jinx. Now, alongside the QSS, probably wants a stopwatch for a lot of these fights, as Fate is going to have his number, and you can't QSS damage. That's just not a thing that you can do. And doesn't have heal, remember. This is Ruler going for that teleport to make sure that he had the best back timings possible in lane.
And we're waiting for this next Mountain Drake. That was the other part of that big fight, is that the reason why it was such a big turn is because it was over the Mountain Drake. It denied Gen.G Mountain Soul. It bought SANDBOX 5 extra minutes. SANDBOX also got Baron. It was taking so many big objectives off the map when they were behind, as well as taking a massive fight. So definitely was super high value for SANDBOX in that moment. as they're going to make a stand now. I mean, this time around they've got Caitlyn with an IE. They've got Akali almost at Leandries. They would love to have that for this next fight, but I don't think it's going to come online in time.
They have a Shirelias as well, so a lot of extra movement speed available for everyone, especially with Mantrid and Spires flying around as well. This is going to be a lot of value from the Karma, but a backflip has to be thrown out from Fate to get away from this Jinx, who is getting scary. Okay, Flame Chompers are down, not a lot of peel, but Root doesn't want to go too far forward, and these rockets are hurting. Which AD carries can get enough damage is the big question. As Summit and OnFleek, they've got their hands on those big AoE ultimates, and look at that. Summit throws out his, that's the prison for the Bear, who has to ult defensively. It's not what he wants to be doing, but it looks like Gen.G have bided their time enough. Rascal looking for the flank, BDD can't get chunked like that. As the ace in the hole comes in and almost takes him out. He's got teleport.
They could burst it.
Yep.
I think they could absolutely burst it, and Gen.G have to stay.
Yep, they need to channel BDD's teleport as well. He is coming in, but he's so far away, and yes, you're right, it is too late. Backflip, net, Arctic Assault. Now they're trying to go for the force fight. BDD, can he be the hero? There we go, 3 with the Emperor's Divide. They are all in the blender set up by the Emperor himself. A double kill for BDD. Rascal tidies up the Karma so easily, and all of a sudden, Fate is the last man standing.
And he's going to take a big rocket to the face, but the damage has already been done here as Fate. You were seen there, buddy. Going to get over the wall, as he's actually going to take this fight here. I think he might be able to kill Clid.
Yeah, there's the perfect execution. Gets the second portion of it, as he has to face check.
Yeah, Clid is just trying to stop the back, really, as they're trying to push in the bottom side. We still got 15 seconds left. Gen.G might just win the game.
Yeah, looks like it. We're pushing forward. They've got a minion wave. They've got a Jinx. She doesn't do anything better than eating through towers, as that is, yes, sad Amumu face. And that is going to be the Nexus falling down in very similar fashion than in Game 1. And we are going the distance as